Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This will get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news markets continue to turn a blind eye to the threat to earnings from the pandemic. But first, the factory PMI in the Chicago industrial heartland in the US is deeply negative, rising slightly in June after falling to a 38-year low in May. This was a disappointing result and below expectations. Last week, American retail sales slipped lower than the week prior in another disappointing result. And year on year, those weekly sales are now down 5.7%, which represents a weekly decline of more than $6 billion in retail impulse. But the June Consumer Sentiment Index took a healthy jump from the doldrums in April and May, all the same. The latest level is depressed to be sure, but it is a better sign. In June, 30% of Americans missed their housing payments, down slightly from 31% in May, but still up from 24% in April. Missed payments continue to be concentrated amongst renters, younger and poorer Americans, and those who work remotely. China's official factory PMI improved marginally in June from May and records a small expansion, now out to 4 consecutive months of expansion. In Hong Kong, Beijing's new security law has been rushed into effect, meaning that violators can be extradited to the mainland and face life imprisonment. China is facing near universal condemnation for the move. In Australia, first-home buyers and recent homeowners face higher risks of default due to higher borrowing and lower savings, and that's according to ANZ. Markets have become too complacent as risks from the coronavirus pandemic threaten global prosperity, the Bank for International Settlements has warned in its annual report. The US Fed made similar warnings overnight. But markets continue to ignore these warnings. It's risk gone for them. Today, Wall Street is up, with the S&P 500 gaining 0.9% in afternoon trade. The US Treasury 10-year yield is up 1 basis point to 0.65%, but the gold price has risen today, up $13 to $1,781 an ounce, and that's an 8-year high. Oil prices have softened marginally today. They're now just over $39 a barrel in the US, and international price is just on $41 a barrel. And the Kiwi dollar is firmer in a minor move back up, now just on 64.5 US cents. On the cross rates, we're unchanged at 93.5 Australian cents, and against the euro, we're firm at 57.4 euro cents. That means our trade-weighted index has risen to 69.4. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.